Good afternoon. We are live from Fargo, North Dakota, where it is 22 below zero. No school today, no school tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be 35 below zero. Yes, that's right, 35 below zero. So we did get out once today, went to the gym, back home now. I think we're going to stay inside the rest of the day, watch the markets. We had some big movers today. 3D printing stocks got a boost. Stratasys got an analyst upgrade, and some kind words from an analyst that was up 8%. Closed up over $24. That one was up about 12% when I first checked this morning, and it came down a little bit. Anytime there's some excitement about 3D printing, the excitement seems to wane eventually. So we'll see what happens with that. See if they can continue that into tomorrow and the rest of the week. But those 3D printing stocks, I don't know. It's hard to gauge those. 3D Systems was up today too, 6.5%. They also got an upgrade. So some big movers there. Another one, smaller one, Voxeljet, I believe it's pronounced, out of Germany. Ticker symbol VJET. They're a tiny company, Wall Street wise anyway. I think they're maybe about $100 million market cap. So that's a pretty small one. They do have a huge commercial 3D printer. I don't think they sell very many units though. I've looked at the revenue before, and it's very tiny. So yeah, none of those companies are profitable. Stratasys, 3D Systems, or any of the 3D printing companies. So it's still going to take some time, I think, for those to take off. I've got a feeling, I could be wrong, but I've got a feeling these 3D printing companies are going to give these gains back probably by the end of the week or next week. Unless they have some good earnings coming up, which is possible, but I just don't see them becoming profitable anytime soon. But definitely keep an eye on the 3D printing space to see if they can keep that rally going. Let's see, nothing up real big, I guess, other than that. The Dow was up. It's kind of a slow day. Dow was up 50 points. NASDAQ was actually down 57. S&P was about flat. We had quite a few stocks that were down quite a bit today. Square, the little Square reader, their stock has taken off the last couple of years, but they were down 10% today on a negative analyst report, and they were downgraded at the same time. So that wiped out about $3 billion of market cap in Square today. Just one analyst. That's amazing what an analyst can do just by coming out and giving your opinion on a company. It can wipe out $3 billion in market cap. It's just amazing. I don't know if the analysts have too much power or if the shareholders just get so spooked anytime a stock is up as much as Square is. Anything negative is going to cause it to tumble quite a bit. So Square was down over 10% today. A big biotech, or not, I don't know if you call them biotech anymore. They're more of a healthcare company, I would say, is Allergan. Allergan was down almost 9% today. That stock has really taken a hit here lately. The high Allergan in July of 2015 was at about $330, and it's dropped 9% today down to 145. So that one's come down considerably, over 50% the last couple of years. So that's one to keep an eye on. They have a lot of FDA approved drugs, treatments, all sorts of stuff, eye drops. Pretty big company still, even after the drop, $50 billion company. At one point, they must have, well, they were over $100 billion company. So that's one to keep your eye on. Let's see, do they pay a dividend? I'm not sure. I think they might. Yeah, they do. 1.8%. So a little under 2% dividend for Allergan. Might be one it's not a stock today's a really volatile day for them, but they moves quite a bit, but nothing any too crazy like these tiny biotech companies. So that might be one you want to hold on to for the long term. I don't think it's anything you're really going to trade and make a bunch of money on, but let's see. Yeah, when we talked about just about every day is overstock. They're into the blockchain now. They've got their own cryptocurrency going for them. So they were down. There was actually no news today, but they were still down 7.5%, which I guess for them isn't that big of a move. I was interested to see they were up big yesterday with no news, and they closed, I believe, just under $20. So I was interested today to see if they could break through that $20 barrier, but weren't able to do it. Fell back today and closed at 1771, down about 7.5%. That's overstock.com. That's a very interesting company with the whole blockchain. The overstock.com itself is a money losing company. This T0, it's called, their cryptocurrency and blockchain is a wholly owned subsidiary. That's how you say it, of Overstock. So the actually overstock.com is, they've got it. I don't know how that's structured. I don't think you can get a piece of this blockchain and the T0 without investing in overstock.com. Or if anybody knows that you can, let me know. It's really interested in that company. It's shot up to about $80 here not too long ago, and now it's down to 17. So that's one that, at any time it could rally and head double, triple pretty quick. Historically, this stock at this price range, between that $15 and $20 price range, when it's gotten down there, it hasn't stayed down there very long. So that's one to definitely watch. See if it can go on one of those runs again that it has in the past. Marijuana stocks were all down today. Not really a whole lot of big news out of those companies, but Canopy Growth was down 7%. I believe Tilray was down about 3.5%, closed at 79.06 today. Not really any news. They're just volatile stocks. They'll move that much on a daily basis, one way or another. What else do we got here? NVIDIA, which was down big yesterday because of earnings, was down another 5% today. So they continued to drop today after earnings. I was looking at the chart of NVIDIA, and they're down over 50% since October. So that's a huge fall for a large company. If you look back farther at the chart, you'll see that it's went from about $25 up to, I don't remember what it was. It was like $175 or something. And it's come down from 50% from there, but it's still, if you'd have got in a few years ago, you'd still be up amazingly on that stock, even after a 50% drop. But that's another one to watch. I believe they're reconsidered they're like an advanced micro devices, or they make these small chips and driverless cars and all these different sorts of devices. So that's one to watch in the future. See if they can come out with some new products. A stock I wanted to talk about today, I've been tempted to talk about it before, but it hasn't been doing a whole lot one way or another. So today it got not even a big move really, but it was down 5%. So I wanted to talk about it today, and that's Vuzix, Vuzix or Vuzix, I think it's pronounced, ticker symbol VUZI. I've been following that company for a while. They make these smart glasses, or supposedly they do. And when I first came across them, I thought it was an interesting company. Um, their market cap was pretty small, which I like. I like to get into companies before they get big. So I was looking into them. They're under $100 million, I think, when I first started looking into them. And they moved up and down quite a bit, but I never have bought any stock or shorted any this company at all. I've never shorted a stock. I really don't even know how. I'm not interested in doing that. If you follow the market enough, I think if you try to short any stock, you're asking for trouble. So I'm not. Whenever I talk negatively about some of these companies, it's not because I'm shorting them and I'm trying to make money off of it. I just see things sometimes that I think other people should be aware of, um, especially if they've already holding shares in the company. But this company, I've just, ever since I started doing research on them, at first glance, I'm like, oh, this could be big, this. And then I started reading into them, and it just seems like all their articles and all their YouTube videos, it it just, something about them just seems fishy. In my opinion, they are either paying someone or employees or CEO or whoever are making these YouTube videos saying how great their product is, comparing it to Google Glass, and all these articles. If you go under their um, ticker symbol, Google, VUZI, or go on your stock screen, or Yahoo, or whatever you use, and every single article that comes out is a PR newswire. PR newswire is a company released um, statement. And whenever that's the case, it's usually the company just pumping up their stock, trying to get investors to buy the stock. And then if you go through their articles, that's every single one. It's like they come out with something new every week, sometimes a couple times a week, where they'll just, it seems the stories almost seem like they're made up. I mean, if they had all this going for them, like you look at their income statement and they have basically no revenue. So it's like, where are all these products? And they're at the CES all the time. That's the big show, and the technology show in Las Vegas, I think. And they were bragging after that. Actually, the last couple of years, they were bragging after that about some awards they've gotten. But if you really dig deep and look into it, it was an award that they give just about everybody. It's just like something like a participation ribbon for being there at the CES. And you wouldn't believe the articles and that's when I was like, okay, they are definitely pumping this up themselves. This is not an unbiased article here. This is not some analyst. This is the company trying to pump up their stock price. And they were using these awards. Well, they call them awards like they were some big deal, like nobody else got them, and like they were best in show or something like that. Um, they always seem to claim too that they have these technological breakthroughs all the time, and there's new wavelength, all this crap with these smart glasses, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. They never come out with any products. I've never seen any of their products. They have products on Amazon. You don't see them in stores. They sell them on Amazon, and read the reviews. The reviews are terrible. I think the positive reviews on it, if there are a few positive reviews, I would be willing to bet anything that it's people inside the company that are writing these positive reviews, because about 80% of the reviews are 1 star. People saying this product was absolutely horrible, that it was not user friendly, it didn't work, the app you download didn't work. So it's one of those companies. It was down to $4 today. I'm sure the market cap is well under $100 million now, or pretty right around 100. It actually did spike up to $10 about a year ago for some reason. Actually, it's still over $100 million, but um, it's this is a company that's it's going to go to zero eventually. I think they take advantage of a lot of maybe ignorant, small investors who read these articles and get excited about it, like I almost did, and then they kind of prop up their share price by doing that. But I think it's finally catching up with them. It's hitting a low. This is the lowest it's been, $4 here in a while since it's the lowest it's been since about 2015. So it's come down a lot. It's come down about 50% just since the middle of this summer. So I think that's all going to finally catch up with them. I'm sure they'll keep putting the press releases out. If you just read, it's almost funny if you read through these. I read press releases from different companies all the time, and these are just different than you see from any. Usually there's different news sources for all these companies that I follow. This one, it's always PR Newswire, always. You can tell they're just pumping it up. Yeah, I want to read one just 5 days ago. This is an article that came out. The headline is Vuzix. This is the PR Newswire, of course. Vuzix expands market access for Vuzix Blade smart glasses to 35 countries with the addition of Japan. And they go on to brag out they're ramping up their yields management production target, 2,000 units per month. And that's another thing. They make all these promises all the time that they're going to sell a certain amount of units, and they never do. They just keep doing it over and over and over, saying that they're going to do this, and they never do. They never follow through with what they say in this company. Never. Another one, 2 weeks ago, Vuzix showcases new waveguide technology with increased fields of view. And they have all this crazy technology they claim, and then you go on Amazon and look at their reviews, and it's just, these products, they say they're going to come out with them, and they're always late, and if they ever do come out with them, it's it's one that you definitely watch out for. Major red flags in Vuzix, VUZI, major red flags in that company. I don't know if you want to short that one. Like I said, I don't short stocks. I wouldn't. I would never short it. But if you want to, it's definitely a candidate. Might be getting in a little late. You would have made a lot of money here. The last few months it's dropped 50%. But just watch that one. That company is going nowhere fast. So just thought I'd bring that up. When I come across stuff like that, I just if somebody's doing their due diligence and in researching a company before they buy stock in it, like they should, hopefully you run across this video, and it could save you a lot of money if you thought about putting money into it, and read some of these articles, and if you see what I'm saying, then I hope you'd stay very far away from this stock. So yeah, I guess that's all I got for today. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday already, after the market closes.